Welcome to the Childcare Director's Chair, the podcast for bold educators who are ready to lead, grow, and shake things up in early childhood education. Whether you're a teacher eyeing that lead role, a lead stepping into leadership, or a center owner dreaming big, this is your space to grow with purpose and leave your mark. Hosted by heart-centered leadership coach Erica Saccoccio, each episode brings you real talk, actionable tools, and a contagious laugh or two, all designed to help you step into your next level with confidence. So pour your coffee, pop in those earbuds, and take your seat, because your leadership journey starts right now in the Childcare Director's Chair.
Have you ever left a meeting replaying everything that you should have said? Maybe you had a concern, an idea, or a question that could have changed the whole conversation, but you stayed quiet. In leadership, influence isn't lost overnight. It's lost in one silent moment at a time. And in this episode, we're going to explore why childcare directors and owners often hold back, and the hidden cost of staying silent, and why your team needs a leader willing to speak on their behalf. You'll learn practical strategies for finding your voice, speaking up when you're unsure, and building the courage to advocate for your staff, families, and mission. If you've ever wondered whether your voice really matters, this episode is for you. Welcome back to the Childcare Director's Chair podcast, and I'm your host, Erica Saccoccio. I want you to picture something. You're sitting in a meeting. Maybe it's with ownership. Maybe it's with your admin team. Maybe it's at a conference table with other directors. And as the conversation unfolds, you feel it, that little voice inside your head. The one saying, this isn't the right decision, we're missing something, or nobody is talking about how this will impact the teachers. Somebody needs to say something. And then, nothing. The meeting ends, everyone leaves, and suddenly you're in your car, driving home, having an entirely different meeting with yourself. Yeah, you know the one, the meeting where you're brilliant, the meeting where you finally say exactly what should have been said, the meeting where you ask the perfect question, or the meeting where you advocate for your team, the meeting where you are courageous. Unfortunately, that meeting happened 20 minutes too late. Have you ever been there? Because if you have, you're not alone. I've been there too. Before I was a childcare owner, I was a childcare director. And then before that, I was a teacher. So today we're talking about something that doesn't get discussed enough in leadership. The director who doesn't speak up is already losing their influence. Now, before you push back and say, Erica, I'm not a quiet person, stay with me. Because this isn't about your personality. It isn't about whether you're introvert or extrovert. And it isn't about who talks the most, because I promise you, honey, I would win that competition every time. But some of the loudest people in the room have very little influence, and some of the quietest people in the room have the most influence. But this is about something else. This is about the moments when you know you should have said something and you didn't. Because every leader has had those moments. You see a decision being made, you hear a conversation happening, you notice something others are missing. And instead of contributing to that conversation, you talk yourself out of it. Maybe you think, I don't have enough information. Maybe you're thinking, maybe I'm wrong. Or I don't want to create conflict. That's a big one. Or I don't want to sound negative. Or I don't want to upset anyone. Before you know it, the moment has passed. But here's what I want you to understand. Your team doesn't need a perfect leader, but they certainly need a visible one. They need a leader willing to use their voice. Think about your teachers for a moment. How many of them are sitting in leadership meetings? How many of them are involved in strategic decisions? How many of them have direct access to ownership, policymakers, licensing officials, and industry leaders? The answer is most don't, but you do, which means something. You're the only voice in the room representing those people that you lead. Now, that's not pressure, but it is certainly responsibility. And one of the greatest responsibilities of leadership is advocacy. So sometimes speaking up isn't all about you at all. It's about the teacher who might be afraid to speak. It's about the assistant director who's overwhelmed. Or it's about the child whose needs aren't being considered, or the family who doesn't have a seat at the table. Real leadership means being willing to speak when the people you serve cannot. Now let's talk about the real reason why leaders stay quiet. And we all know it's not because you don't care. It's because you're waiting to feel certain, and that's a trap. Because certainty doesn't always come first. Most leadership decisions happen in the gray areas, and most conversations happen before all the facts are available. And most opportunities to influence happen before you're completely comfortable. So if you're waiting until you are 100% sure, you're going to miss the moment. And one of the biggest leadership lessons I've learned is this: you don't need to be certain to contribute. You only need courage. And courage doesn't always sound like a speech. Sometimes courage sounds like a question. Or, can I offer another perspective? Or can you help me understand that decision? Maybe even asking the question, what impact might this have on our staff? Or have we considered any other options? Those simple questions can completely change the direction of the conversation. And not because you're the smartest person in the room, although you might be, but because you're willing to participate. So let me give you a challenge this week. The next time in your meeting, don't leave with something unsaid. Don't save your best thoughts for the drive home, and don't wait to be perfectly prepared. Don't assume someone else will speak up for your team. Instead, say the thing. Ask the question, share the perspective, and offer the insight. Because every time you speak up, you strengthen your influence. Every time you advocate and strengthen your leadership, every time you use your voice, you build trust. And over time, that's what influence really becomes. Not power, not authority, not position, trust. And trust is when something important needs to be said, you'll be the leader willing to say it. And that's the kind of leader every childcare program needs. So thank you for joining me for another episode of the Childcare Director's Chair podcast. And before you head into your next meeting, I want you to remember this. Your voice doesn't have to be the loudest in the room, but it does need to be present. Until next time, lead with courage, confidence, and impact. Have a great day.
That's a wrap for this episode of the Childcare Director's Chair, where we believe leaders aren't born, they're grown. If something sparked for you today, share it, shout it out, or pass it along to the next bold changemaker in childcare. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and stay connected with Erica Saccoccio for more real talk leadership tools and a whole lot of inspiration. Until next time, lead with heart, grow with fire, and always remember, the chair is yours. Now own it.